Well, it's Monday. I'm naked, and I obviously don't feel too well. But I'm making a naked blog anyway. If you want to know why, check out Trisha Hirschberger, who is the reason why I'm motivated to do these things. And well, let's face it, the only time anybody pays any attention to me, I'm taking my clothes off, which is kind of upsetting, but okay. And today we're going to talk about the legalization of marijuana. Now, I am a security officer. More specifically, I am the night watchman at a homeless shelter. I interact with marijuana very commonly. Never smoked it, but I mean, I see it, I smell it, I confiscate it, turn it into my manager. We flush it down the toilet, I hear, but what exactly that, I imagine what they really do is go smoke it themselves, but not important. Now I have to tell you that coming from my context, I have a very negative opinion of drugs. Of any kind. I still have never purchased a legal drink at a bar. Never done it. Never gone to a bar. Never ordered a drink. Never gone to a restaurant. Never ordered a drink. I do drink at home. Primarily it's red wine. I put that in my smoothies. The alcohol is good for, you know, killing bacteria. You put that in with your vegetables, if you're kale and what it is, if it's a little wilted. Takes the wilt right out of it. You know, you just grind that up and it sterilizes it for you so you don't have to worry. It takes away the wilted smell, so to speak. But I have a very negative impression of drugs because my father was a drug addict. I don't know if you could say is. He's still alive from what I understand. Don't have any interaction with him, but you know, let me put it to you this way. One time when I was a young man, my father turned to me and he said, "Well, Rick," always called me that, drove me nuts. "When I was a mailman in Vietnam, we used to sit up on the rooftops, smoke dope, and watch the battles. And every now and again, you would look up and see sparks coming down the side of the building. This was a commanding officer checking on his men and them dumping their dope. But you see, I was never on the rooftop. I was always on the ground, collecting their dope. And now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go smoke their dope." And then when the war was over, I came to my unit and said, "Well, boys, we're going home. And we're going to have an inspection. So anything you don't want them to find, you just put in this box right here." And of course, you know, there was a bottle of pills. One man had some heroin. There was a little bit of cocaine. And of course, all kinds of dope. Then I sealed the box, sent it home, and we never had inspection. I miss that war. Now, obviously, I'm embellishing a little bit. Only a little bit. But I watched my father always turn to pills of some kind, both the legal and illegal kind, to try and boost his health, boost his happiness, boost all kinds of things about himself. What they eventually did was make him unclear on reality, I would have to say. So, that's my standpoint. Do I believe we should legalize marijuana? Absolutely. Believe we should legalize it the way we legalize any other kind of substance of that nature, like alcohol. You should have to be 21 to purchase it. An employer should be able to fire you if you use it. That's their decision, not yours. You know, quite frankly, an employer should pretty much be able to say, "We don't believe that you should come in drunk. We don't believe you should come in under the influence of marijuana. Marijuana stays in your system for a long time, so a drug test could mean termination." However, the good thing about legalizing marijuana is, for one thing, people are going to get it anyway. It's really easy to get your hands on this stuff because it's a plant. You just grow it. It stores well, so on and so forth. So we may as well tax that. that's point number one. Train. Point number two, people say it's a great gateway drug. So is alcohol. So is tobacco. That's not a good point. You know, we have a lot of people in jail for marijuana offenses. I can tell you I've spoken directly to police officers. At least one of them told me, first of all, those medical cards you get, bupkis. You cannot go to a doctor and get a medical marijuana card for $50. It doesn't work that way. You can't get one for back pain. This is a medical recommendation, and it is not legal according to that police officer. Now, he may be wrong. Police officers are human beings, and they have as many flaws as the rest of us. So take that into account. But two, he said he didn't go after people for marijuana because he knows it's BS. If you're doing something else and marijuana is the only thing he can catch you for, he might give you the marijuana charge, but otherwise that's it. So yeah, I mean, marijuana, it can make people violent. I have seen this personally. It can make people violent. So there is that. I also know people who are extreme addicts, smoke every day, smell like it all the time. I've actually seen people who have a constant bloodshot eye from the use of marijuana. They were still functional enough to get jobs. It affects everyone differently. Now, the major benefit from my standpoint to marijuana, in addition to that we could get a lot of revenue from it, we could tax it, would be that it does have a tendency to lower your fertility. A lot of the clients I work with have children. And, of course, the facility I work at does not house children. So their children are being taken care of by someone else. And these people maybe never will make good parents. Not because they're bad people necessarily, but because they had bad parents themselves. And, you know, this is a form of birth control, marijuana. You know, when you've got people that shouldn't have children because of economic status or personal demons, yeah, I don't have a problem with them smoking. That doesn't mean I'm going to let them bring it into my facility. I do my job. I do my job in a manner that is becoming of a gentleman. I do my job with professionalism and precision. I believe marijuana should be legal. I still believe that my policies toward it, that I deal with at work, should not change. Now, again, you might say, well, yeah, they could just use condoms. Yes, well, the people I work with probably not going to be able to get their hands on one. If they are, they're not going to use it properly. So, you know, if legalizing marijuana meant that, let's just say, you know, 200 fewer children will be born to bad parents every year without abortion or any other, you know, invasive form of birth control that I believe should, you know, be legal but have moral problems with myself, why not? I mean, it's illegal primarily for economic reasons because putting these people in jail is good for the economy. That's it. We can find no other real legitimate reason. There are a couple of these side issues that meh. No. Okay? People. Okay. Recording stopped, which means I'm talking too long. But I believe at the point of recording stopped, I was talking about the fact that my dad drank so much it screwed up his sperm. Made me incapable of becoming addicted to alcohol. Also made it so that there's no point in me drinking any more than one drink. Yeah. My my life is boring. So, wrap things up. All y'all have a good night.